Welcome to Full Court Sundays. We decided today to do something that's going to be real fun. We're going to have a very, very special guest on today. And this guy, he's the host of the podcast, and his name is Antoine the Judge Joubert. Give it up to him. Yeah, so it's good today to be here today on this Sunday, and Carlos Rogers is going to be interviewing me about some things, and I'm so happy to have him here again, my little brother. We do this all the time. This is going to be fun. So stay tuned. Let's go.
I don't know if y'all can hear me or not. They have my call in. The number is 313-855-5737. So I want y'all to call in, all y'all to know Antoine Joubert, so I ain't really got to ask him no questions. And I am indeed going to be the host today of the show. So I'm going to ask him some questions about what's going on in his life right now, mostly about basketball, but we want to dig into his past a little bit and talk about his early childhood as well as his basketball and other things that he did as a child. Go.
I grew up in Southwest Detroit.
Why are y'all clapping for Southwest Detroit?
We love Southwest. And I went to a great school called Boynton Elementary and Middle School. So many great athletes come out of that school.
What great athletes come out of Boynton Elementary?
Guys, my role Miller was Jack Brown, a great point guard. Curtis Moore, who I played with. Leslie Rockymore. Just a bunch of great athletes coming out of Southwest Detroit. Not only in basketball, and my brother Ezekiel Joubert Jr.
He had to say that because he could beat him up.
For sure. And baseball as well as basketball. And I know you played baseball too.
What do you consider yourself a better basketball player than you were a baseball player? Because a lot of people just pick basketball because you were just tall.
Right.
And they had more of an advantage. Were you a better baseball player than you were a basketball player?
I think I was.
So why didn't you pursue baseball more? What made you pick basketball over baseball?
I didn't pick it. If somebody picked it for me.
Explain it to us. Tell us what happened.
Well, my freshman year, I played baseball at Southwestern. Perry Watson was our coach. Great team. And my sophomore year, I had to run cross country or play football. You know how it is in high school. So my parents wouldn't let me play football because my brother got hurt in college playing football. So I ran cross country. So we were running cross country, and these black guys jumped on one of my white friends and jumped on the whole school, the whole cross country team. So
your whole team got beat up?
Yes. The answer to that is yes. Okay, so
the Detroit Yankees.
Hey man, we got beat up, and most of the baseball players were seniors when I was a sophomore, and my junior year, I said, I'm not running cross country. I played football. And I played basketball after that, and then I was going to play baseball, and I was playing baseball, and we were actually playing Northwestern. and I was pitching, and them same guys that jumped on us.
So it's from Northwestern. The guys from Northwestern is who jumped on y'all?
No, they were from Southwest. They were from Delray.
Uh-huh.
And they were up at the school like, we gonna give it to you again, fella, you know, so. And, you know, I was like, hey, I can't do it. I told Perry, man, I'm gonna kill him. I wanted to kill him because I was ready to fight. And that was it. And I stopped playing. I should have kept playing.
I have a question for you, since you mentioned Coach Perry Watson, the great Perry Watson. How did your relationship with Perry Watson start?
My relationship with Perry started actually as the summer of my 8th grade year going to my 9th grade year. You know, Perry is from Southwest, and he and my uncle played sports together. Mm-hmm. And so he knew my family and stuff. And, you know, Southwestern was a bad school. That's why my brother didn't go there. He went to Ecorse. Mm-hmm. And so my parents wasn't too keen on letting me go there. And Perry was like, look, I'm going to take care of him. You know, and our relationship started from there, and it just grew. He picked me up, drove me, brought me home for a year, till I got acclimated with school and stuff, and it was cool.
Mm-hmm. So when you were younger, how did basketball come into play in your, like, as far as you taking it seriously to the point where you were a scholarship athlete, and at one point the #1 player in the country, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, the freshman year, like in the 8th grade, I had a game where I scored 88 points.
When you was a freshman in high school?
No, 8th grade.
Oh, in the 8th grade, you scored 88 points.
Yeah, in the 8th grade game.
Oh.
Yes. Because we played all the middle schools in Detroit and Ecorse and Rush, you know. Mm-hmm. So I had a game where I scored 88 points. But when I got to high school, it was a different challenge. Mm-hmm. You know, the guys were bigger, stronger, more experienced. And I had to learn the extra work. You know, I had to work ethic, but, you know, the work had to be harder than I had ever did to get to that next level. And so what I did, and I used to have asthma really bad, because I was 6'5" in the 8th grade.
You was 6'5" in the 8th grade?
Yeah, I was same size.
So how are you only 6'4" now?
Yeah, you already Yeah, but and I said, dang, man.
Man, people thought you was going to probably be about 7 foot tall, 6'5" in the 8th grade. Yeah. That's a big kid, man.
Yeah, man. And you know, and then I had the skill level because of my brother. He was smaller, but, you know, he could play guard. So I always had the ability to dribble on the ball and doing stuff like that. So I just had to get my body stronger. So when I ran cross country, Perry like, you gonna run cross country? So I was like, cool. So when I ran cross country, it just took my body to a whole nother level. Mm-hmm. I mean, my asthma went away. I was never sick again. And as the year went on, man, I got stronger and better and moved into the starting lineup at the 3rd game.
After the 3rd game?
Yes, sir.
So you starting as a varsity athlete and as a freshman?
Yes, I did.
How did
Give it up to me. Yeah. For working hard. Yeah.
So since you were, I know that you had guard skills when you, even though you were big. How did you feel that you had to play at the center position?
You know, at first you kind of be like, dang, you know, but I learned a lot. I mean, it gave me such an advantage, especially later in my life. You know, in high school, it was more of a disadvantage when I played bigger guys, you know, taller guys. Roy Tarpley, Kevin Roundfield, you know, 6'9", 260, size 22 shoe tractor trailer brother. These guys is huge. Phil, Mike, them guys is big. Rodney Neely. But it showed me how to move and do stuff that I could do on them. And it helped me when I got to college because guys playing the guard were always smaller than me. And it gave me an advantage because I was bigger and stronger and I knew how to be tough inside and stuff. But it was a battle playing them guys, man. I used to take some lumps, you know.
Before you move on to college, let's go back to high school. How did you win these state championships when you was in?
No, I lost twice.
You lost. So you went to the state finals twice.
Yeah.
Who did you lose to?
Flint Central.
Both years.
Both years they had 5 Division I players.
Wow.
5.
You remember the guys that was on the team?
Yes, I do. Yeah, they had Marty Embry, Mark Harris, Darrell Johnson, Eric Turner, Marty Embry, Marvin Wells, just
solid team, huh?
And the Hall of Fame high school coach, Stan Gooch, rest in peace. Give it up for Stan. Awesome coach.
Yeah. Okay. What about city championships? You have any?
Oh yeah, 3 in a row.
3 in a row?
I think I'm the only one that got 3 in a row.
Only won 3 in a row. Ever. So who your 3 championships?
Sell out the house in the city. I put it on for my city.
He always talking crap.
I'm joking.
So who was your 3 teams you played against? So was your freshman, sophomore, and junior, or your sophomore, junior, and senior?
It was my sophomore, junior, and senior year.
Okay, who was it? Your sophomore? I mean, your sophomore against?
My sophomore, I think, was against Denby.
Wow, Denby came out the east side.
East side, they was tough, man. And my sophomore year was some really tough teams, and we were good, man. That team I played on was unbelievable my sophomore year.
Was everybody from that area? You know how y'all coaches have a tendency to pull players from all over. You know, they don't want to talk about that. That's like
what he's saying.
That's a neighborhood taboo. They don't want to talk about players getting pulled from more. Was those all Southwest players? Was it everybody on your team from Southwest Detroit?
Yes, they were.
Okay, well, that's all I'm asking. I wasn't trying to ask no other question. And why are we applauding that right there?
I know, because when you came through, everybody wasn't from Southwest.
At all, man. I was like, where? Yeah, he lived right down the street from me. How is he over here? And they told me it was illegal. And so when we played against all them guys, well, none of them guys from Southwest Detroit that we played against. So I didn't understand.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I had no idea. But anyway, let's go back to high school. When did you identify that you were being heavily recruited by Division I schools?
I realized that, like at the end of my freshman year, we went to camps, and Perry, he drove us in the Trans Am, man. That's what high school coaches
Another
do.
illegal thing.
What you mean? That ain't illegal.
Yeah, you weren't. Well, when I played, we weren't allowed to even get in our coach's car.
Well, we had no other way to go there. Perry was working the camp.
I'm just messing around. Go.
Okay. So only transportation we had was a Trans Am.
All y'all was in the Trans Am?
Yeah. Me, Rock, and Charlie, and Keith. And we in that bad boy crushed up, man. I mean, complaining. You talking about these kids don't know. And we went down there, man. I played good, man, as a freshman going to a sophomore.
Okay.
And that's when I started receiving letters.
You remember your first letter?
Oh, well, my first letter was my freshman year. Jerry Tarkanian.
UNLV.
Yeah, he came to see Curtis Moore. And give it up to Kurt, who works with the Pistons. My boy. Yeah, Kurt works with the Pistons now. Jerry Tarkanian came to see Kurt because Kurt was an awesome player. And he taught me a lot, too. And he was like, hey, I like this kid. You know, and Perry was like, well, he's a freshman. So he sent me my first letter. I still have it. And after that year, they just start coming in and coming in. And we wanted my sophomore year, the letters really start coming in after that.
Why Michigan?
Michigan was always my school, you know. It was my school. And then, you know, my good friend, my brother, Leslie Rockymore, went there.
I didn't know Leslie went to Michigan.
Yeah. We grew up together from Boone. And he signed there after we won my sophomore year. And, you know, I would always go up there with him, and I was real good friends with Roy Tarpley. He was my boy, you know, and from high school. Because me and Roy played all AAU together, and you know how that is. We won nationals together.
Okay.
So traveling together and stuff, and Eric Turner I was good friends with. So I was like, if I play with these guys, I'm going to win because they only needed a blend-in guy. And for sure, I went up there and we were successful.
Talk about your time in Michigan. Tell me how things were as far as playing and on and off the court. Tell me how you were received down there as far as the, you know, leaving Detroit, going into Ann Arbor in that big environment. How were you able to get through those times?
Well, those times were great, man. Michigan, coming from Detroit and going to Michigan, it's totally different, you know, because the environment is different, you know, the swag is different. The people up there, they don't know about the swag we have down here, you know. I mean, maybe the coaches do because they come down here and to recruit. But far as fans and stuff, they don't really perceive it. So when you go up there, it's a little different. You got your swag and stuff. But I mean, they like me. I like that. Michigan. I love it. It's a great experience, and I had a great time.
Who's your coach there?
Bill Frieda.
He recruited you?
Yeah. Bill Frieda recruited me. Steve Fisher. Mike Boyd, great guys.
So as far as playing in the Big Ten, how was that competition for you when you first leaving out of, like I said, from Detroit going to that environment?
The competition was, you know, Big Ten, the physical. You know, they play it physical and, you know, my style of ball was slow. You know, I think I play fast.
You think you play fast?
Yeah.
Oh,
you know I did.
No.
You had some. So
No, I had some what?
we'll get into it at the end of the
I had
show.
some what? Man, don't start
Don't
that.
you start.
I ain't had no nothing.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's finish the show, man.
So, you know, I think it was, I think the style was slow. You know, they didn't.
Slower than you want to play?
Oh, yeah, because, you know, I like to run the gun. And then,
So since you do like to run the gun, how come you didn't pick UNLV? That's exactly the style of basketball.
UNLV didn't have no team.
At all?
No, at all.
Oh, so you one of those players that got to play with other players in order for you to be good.
No, I just played with guys that I knew I could win with, and I knew I had played also with the great Richard Ralford, and give it up to Rich and Butch Wade, because as you know, playing in nationals, when you go to Florida and all those stuff, you meet everybody because you play against other states that got good players. So those players had committed to Michigan also.
Right.
So
So you already knew pretty much your team before you even got there.
absolutely.
Right.
So, and that was my choice. Plus, my family would have the opportunity, and my friends, to come watch me play and be a part of my college career.
That's good. That's good. Wonderful thing.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about the. You got any Big Ten championships?
Yeah, I got 2 of them back to back.
Wow.
Yeah, back to back. And an NIT.
You got an NIT championship or?
NIT championship my freshman year.
Wow. Let me just take a moment to just step back for a minute. His name is Antoine the Judge Jobert. So my question to you is, where did the name the Judge come from?
It's a family name.
It's a family name?
Yeah, and my brother called me that. Newspaper heard him at the game. You know, like, good game, Judge. And boom, they ran with it. So.
Oh. So I was deceived by your name. I'm glad it didn't really mean. They said, I was told, this is how, like, before I really knew who you were, they're like, hey, you know the Judge? I was like, no, I don't know nobody named Judge. And I was like, why they call him Judge? And they was like, because he ruled the court. I was like, ruled the court? Man, where is this guy? Yeah, so that's what I heard. So I'm glad that wasn't the truth, because you definitely didn't rule the court. We can talk about that later on, like my man said again. After you had 14, 15 years professional basketball?
16.
Now, you had the environment of being in Michigan. Now, to take that to the professional level, do you consider that another level of basketball, or were you already accustomed to how it was going to be?
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, because, you know, I consider myself going through the era of the greatest players probably to ever play the game.
I agree.
You know, I mean, there's great players now, but it ain't as many as it was when I played. And I grew up with Magic, Isaiah, Dominique Wilkins, Scott Skiles, Charles Barkley. You know, I played with those guys, and that era, all those guys are Hall of Fame type guys, and you learn a lot. You know, you learn extra work habits, how to take the game serious to survive in it. And I learned from Earl Cureton, Terry Durod, John Long. I mean, I was with them guys all the time, and they taught me a lot.
Excuse me. Shout out to Terry Durod. Rest in peace. And he is a hater.
Love you, dude. Yeah, and like, you know, they were guys that, you know, they weren't the top. It was so strange because you got guys like Magic you look at, and then you got guys like John, Earl, and Dew that I'm surrounded. And I got Isaiah and Magic right here. And I got John, Earl, and Dew right there. So you kind of, you know, you...
So you had some duels with Magic, huh?
I mean, I played some games, yeah. Some real ones, yeah. Yeah.
How did
yeah.
you fare? How do you feel you fare against Magic Johnson? Y'all both played the same position. At that time, was he playing point guard? You was playing point guard too.
Yeah, I feel I fare decent. I mean, Magic's probably one of the greatest I ever seen. But I thought I did decent. I had some good showings. I mean, good points. But I mean, even like, playing against Michael was tough as heck. It's tough. I played against some decent ones, man, like at the Olympic trials and stuff. So there's some great players.
Man, I remember going over your house and your mom got like a memorabilia collection of all your accomplishments, and I was amazed by it, man, because like I said, I was younger, and I didn't really know a whole lot of things you did, and your wall showed me who you are, man. And
Thank you, man.
there's a lot of people who don't
Appreciate
get a chance to, I read a comment, I forgot who put it up. It said, I believe it was Terrence Wheeler. He said, the things that you would say at a person's funeral, you should say on their birthday.
Right.
And I want to always pay homage to you, Judge, because you have been an inspiration in my life, not only for the things you've done, but the things that you do for other people. And
Thank you.
yeah, I wanna, because he coached every last one of my kids. He coached my sons. He coached both of my nephews. He coached all of my kids.
Right.
And he's done a phenomenal job with them. And now that we're on that subject, let's talk about you and how did you get into coaching yourself?
Well, I never thought I would be a coach. I tell people all the time, I'm like, man, and I look up, it's 14 years later, but, it's a blessing. When I retired, I didn't know what to do after playing 16 years of basketball. Like you play all your life, you don't know what to do, man. You like, shoot. So I started praying. I worked at the plant for a few years, and a coaching job came up. Glenn Blackwell called me because I had the ABA team, which I was coaching because I love sports. I had bought the ABA team. But then Glenn called me like, man, it's a college job over. And I was like, really? And so he's like, yeah, you go on online and put in your resume. And I said, okay. And they called me, and I've been coaching. And the first year I coached, I won it. I got lucky. And
You won a championship your first year of coaching?
first year,
Wow.
coach of the year.
Coach of the year. Give it up for the judge, the guy that ruled the court.
Ruled the court, man. I was like, man, the first year, and I was so happy, man. And I prayed, and I said, God said, this is what I want you to do, man. Help kids, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So
and-
even though you coach at the college level, you also do AAU, Judges Court. Give it up for the Judges Court.
Judges court in the house.
So even though you was doing, and you stretching yourself, because
Yeah.
being a college coach is a full-time job.
Right.
Because not only are you preparing for on the court, but you got to worry about off the court
Off the court.
activities and schoolwork.
Right.
How do you balance in with the kids and how did you get into that part of coaching as well?
Well, I always, and my parents, man, give it up to my dad and mom. They always stress education, man. And they always told me, you got to get your education, because they came through the era where, they don't let you get your education. And when I came up, I was always in the top of my class doing something, vice president, president. My grades were good. And I always said, if anything happened with my career, I want to be able to get a good job.
Right.
I never based my life on basketball. I could have went pro out of high school. I had the opportunity, baseball and basketball. But thank you. I wanted to go I wanted to go to college and get my degree. And I did that. And I know that, and you know, that everybody can't be a pro athlete.
That's for sure.
And like in the NBA, you played a long time, and you know it's only 400 some players.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's millions and millions of basketball players. But what every kid can do is get their education by using the ball if that's what they want to do, and become a success in so many other areas.
Now, I always looked at that. I never viewed myself as a professional basketball player. I never believed that I would make it anyway. But what I did is I maximized the opportunity I had in front of me and pushed all those doors down. And whatever becomes of you when you're done playing basketball, that's what you've created. So I never ever looked at myself as Carlos Rogers, the basketball player. I never ever told nobody I was going to the pros.
And I never looked at myself as, the judge, Antoine.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I can't believe he's going to sit there and say some stuff like that. He always consider himself the judge. He call you every morning and let you know that the judge is in the building. He trying to downplay it because we're on this podcast. That's 100% not the truth right there.
You really Miles. He's trying to say that on me.
Man, but I'm honored to be a part of the whole Detroit basketball community, PSL, and all the guys that's doing great things. I look at the work that DC do, the things that you do,
God, man.
T. Wheeler, Willie Burton. Y'all inspiration to all these younger guys, man. And
yeah, man.
there was a lot of time that, before y'all stepped in those gaps was incomplete, and y'all sat in there during tough times, man, and y'all done some great things for these kids, man. And Detroit should be proud of the people that they produced, because a lot of people don't understand, man. It's hard coming out of Detroit. But,
man, it's so hard, and you absolutely right, man. Man, I am so proud of you guys, because when I came out, it was so many tough players. But after me, I look at DC, Steve, yourself, Jalen, Voshan, Howard Isley, Bill Jones. I can just keep going on. Ira, Newbill, Derek Dow. It's just so many guys that came through and did so many positive things. Greg Graves, Doug Smith. I mean, it just warms my heart all the time, And it's not comparisons of who was better. It's success stories.
we don't have that who was better.
Never.
Just me and you.
Oh, my God.
Hey, he trying to act like we don't have it. Only me and him have those conversations. But like as far as a whole Detroit, it's love, man.
It's
And it ain't
love.
never been about who did what.
It's nothing but love, man.
And I'm really proud to be a part of, like I said, that whole community, man, because it's been some fantastic things that has been done, and the players that y'all produce.
Yeah.
I mean, think about all the great players that you've coached, that you've turned into. You helped.
Give it up for Josh Jackson on the Pistons.
To be able to put your hand in that, all these guys, Cassius Winston, all these guys that go and have an opportunity to leave out of our care. Yeah, they leave out of our care and go on to be successful, and it's because it takes that whole village.
It takes
and a lot
village.
of people don't realize that. It take Derek, it take you, it take all these different people to come together and touch these people the way that they know how to touch them, because I can't reach my son the way y'all can. And you probably can't reach your son the way I can. So that's what that village means. It means where I'm weak, I need you to step in.
Step in and be strong.
Yeah, so.
I like to thank you for giving me the opportunity. Give it up to Carlos for, entrusting me and giving me the opportunity to coach them, Darrell, Buddha, and Durrell, and, take them around out to state and stuff, the other states, man, and just entrusting me and believing in me that I'm going to treat them right and teach them right.
Yeah. You know what, Judge? But I'm going to tell you, the reason why I trusted you with my kids is because the style of basketball, and it don't have nothing to do with you being my friend, because if you didn't have your priorities in order as far as how to coach them, I wouldn't have let you coach them no matter what.
Right.
But your style of play allowed them to develop in a free range where
Right.
they're able to do everything.
Right.
And the reason why I wasn't as great as I could have been because I had so many restraints
Right.
on what I could and could not do because I grew.
Right.
And it should not be restraints on players that can
That's
who's
right.
willing to work on those things to make themselves better.
It shouldn't be restraints anyway.
Yeah, but
when
that's what-
you can do that stuff, 'cause
Yeah.
you were able to do
Oh, they took all of it away from me.
everything.
Yeah, and
You were
I really
able-
felt like my whole career that I was handcuffed, and I wasn't going to let that happen to my kids.
That's
so,
great.
and I knew that you was the kind of coach who allowed them to grow into
That's
whatever
right.
position that they wanted to play. And that's what I'm most thankful for. Like right now, Durrell, my nephews are playing pro ball over
That's
in
right.
Mexico.
Give it up for my boy.
So it's a strong
That
possibility
body,
Buddha might
baby.
still have a chance, man. But
Oh, he does have a
the things that
chance.
you've instilled in him, I appreciate it, and much gratitude comes with the love that I give you.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you, man. And all of our guys are doing wonderful things. I was talking about the guys that came behind me. Look how great Steve Smith's doing. NBA TV, giving money back to Michigan State. You give stuff to Tennessee State. Derek's at Syracuse. Jalen Rose at Michigan and all the stuff he do in Detroit, man. It just make me feel so good in my heart, man,
Yeah, the era that I came in, man, and I thank God for it. During the time that I came in, there was so many NBA players from Detroit that wherever I got traded
Right.
to, it was somebody there who could help me through that process.
Right.
Victor Alexander don't get a whole lot of conversation. A lot of people don't talk about Big Smooth.
Yeah, give it up to Vic,
Yeah,
my
when I
boy.
first went down to Golden State as a rookie, man, he was right there, and he helped me through it. He was like, "Hey, Los, he gave me the ins and outs, and I didn't even know that."
And Willie Burton.
Yeah, all of them.
Give it up to my main man, Willie B.
I didn't even know Vic, but as soon as I got there, he gave me the Detroit love, man. Every team that I went to, somebody from Detroit there, it was Detroit love, man.
Yeah.
Even when I went to Toronto, John Sally showed me Detroit love, even though he's not from Detroit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, my boy.
Yeah,
That's
so
my boy.
it's just been amazing. Just the whole basketball culture, man, has really. I'm impressed by it because I never really felt like I was a part of the whole basketball community. But then once I started getting older and realized that I was the person that's getting in the way of me being a part of the community because
absolutely.
I took myself out the loop. Like, I'm not like them guys. I didn't do like they did. So I took myself out of a very prestigious group, and I love the community of Detroit and the ball players, all the PSL guys, man. They're a bunch of guys that even though a lot of them are haters, but they still uplift you, man. You know what I mean? So shout out to the Detroit Public School League, man.
And all the haters.
All the haters that come with it.
You heard what he said? Yeah, man. The PSL community is great, man. We got to start doing more stuff together. That little game they had this year was really good and fun.
I hate we couldn't play in it because I was looking forward to it. I seen you play last year, man. Looking forward to it. You had your little ailments, and me too as well.
Yeah.
And hopefully DC said he gonna play. Yeah, I saw DC come in, man. On my page, so he said he gonna come.
D say he gonna play.
Yeah, man. He said the way them scrubs was last year, he's like, I know I can get out there and do that.
Me too. I know I could.
Yeah, man. So I just want to get out there just because of the love that's out there.
It's just the love and the fun, man, and the hugging each other. And it brought tears to my eyes being out there, man, and seeing like Vernon Carr, guys I hadn't seen, I used to play against, man.
Bill Jones' old ass was out there.
I sure talking about you.
Hey, it was good to see him, man. But
Yeah,
it's good to see that the community's so strong that whatever somebody say, hey, let's do, they show up.
Right.
You know? And
We're there together.
I'm glad to be a part of that, man.
Well, I always told people, people ask me, man, why you don't move out of Detroit? I had properties in Florida and all that. I'm never moving. I'm going to die here.
Well, I ain't gonna tell that lie, because I like to be in the sun, man.
I will see you later,
I'll be here in the summertime, man. Wintertime. After Halloween, that's it for me. I'm leaving.
What?
It's time to go. I got to go someplace hot. I'm going to Texas or either to Florida.
Well, I can't live there, so I'm gonna be here at my home, Michigan, Detroit, Michigan. Yeah, I love it, man.
Hey, thank you for letting me host your show, man. I think I did a phenomenal job. Hey, listen, I want y'all to see something. I had no cue cards. I had nothing. The question I asked him, everything was on the fly. I just want y'all to know that. That's how phenomenal I am as, because he told me I was going to freeze up. Freeze up? I was like, Negro, you crazy? I was born for these moments. You hear? You heard?
He did do a phenomenal job. Give it up to
That's
him.
right.
My brother, he always do a phenomenal
Always show
job.
up.
And I wanted to praise you on we lost a good friend with the corona, and you did an unbelievable job singing at the funeral and holding me up.
That was pressure right there, man.
Yeah, you did
Antoine, I don't
You
know
did
how
it,
this
man.
happened.
You did
I
it.
never ever sung at no funeral, no nothing. This dude gonna tell Terry that
did it.
I'm Los gonna sing at Tone's funeral,
You
and
just
Terry
singing
called me
on the
like,
phone to
Terry
us.
told me that you about to sing at the funeral. I said, no, I'm not. I said, why would you tell us something like that? He said, because you're gonna do it. I said, no, I'm not gonna do it. He said, you just gotta do it one last time for your brother. So I got up there and I was scared to death.
Oh,
But
you did it. You jammed, man. I'm like, man, give it up to him. You did it, man. And man, that was the grace of God, man. You got up there, man. It was unbelievable.
you
man.
hurt my shoulder holding you up too, man.
Oh, man, you
He a
always
crybaby,
talking,
man.
Whatever,
He was crying the whole day, man. I had to hold him up. That's why I knew I was stronger than him then. I was like, man, this guy's weak. Southwest guys, man, you got to hold them up, man.
Hey, fellas, y'all hear him? He's still mad at y'all. He talking bull. All
I'm
y'all.
not mad at them. Why I'm mad at them? They couldn't stop me.
You said they weren't supposed to be there.
They wasn't supposed to be there. They made me play with all neighborhood guys, and y'all all got super teams.
They had all the super guys, didn't they?
Cooley did too.
I know. Oh, don't leave them out.
Persian, all of them had super teams.
Oh, my God. Don't talk about Persian now.
Thank you, DC. DC said great job, man.
Oh, tell D-Nice. I see
That's my
you
man,
later,
D. Hey, I love you, good brother.
I love you too, D.
How much time we got? Did I get out of here? Did I do 1 minute? Okay, well, before we get out of here, I would like to say great job to the host today. And this is my co-host.
Thank you.
Give him a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you.
The great Antoine Jobert.
Thank you.
We out of here. My interview is complete. I didn't get a chance to say stuff I really wanted to say, so next time we get on here, we really gonna get loose. He made me get on a Sunday podcast, so I really can't say the things I want to say. But from now on, we about to get loose, because I'm about to be officially, after today, I'm officially a host. So
That's right.
Anybody out here interviewing for a host, I am the host with the most. Carlos Rogers, I'm out of here. Stay in love with the Lord. Keep God first, keep smile on your face.
Peace.